I never thought a mundane task like filling up my car could turn into a night of sheer terror. It was a late evening in November when I found myself driving back from a friend's house. The roads were unusually quiet, and the eerie silence was only broken by the occasional rustling of leaves. I noticed my fuel gauge nearing empty, prompting me to stop at a small isolated gas station on the outskirts of town. As I pulled in, the dimly lit station seemed deserted. The neon sign flickered unsteadily, casting an unsettling glow over the pumps. I got out of my car and approached the pump, feeling an inexplicable sense of unease creeping over me. The air was cold and still, and the silence was oppressive. I started filling up my tank, my eyes scanning the empty lot. That's when I noticed an old beat-up car parked on the far side of the station. It was an old model covered in rust and grime, and it seemed oddly out of place. I couldn't see anyone inside, but I had the unsettling feeling of being watched. Just as I finished fueling and was about to head to the cashier, the station's lights flickered and went out, plunging the area into darkness. My heart skipped a beat. I fumbled for my phone to use as a flashlight, but it was dead. Strange, I remembered charging it just before I left. Feeling more anxious by the second, I decided to leave the payment and deal with it in the morning. As I turned to walk back to my car, I heard a soft dragging sound coming from the direction of the old car. I froze, straining my ears. The sound stopped as suddenly as it had started, replaced by a chilling silence. I quickly got into my car, locking the doors behind me. Just as I was about to start the engine, I saw movement from the corner of my eye. A figure was slowly emerging from behind the old car. It was a man, or at least something that resembled a man. Tall and unnaturally thin, with ragged clothes hanging off his gaunt frame. My heart was pounding in my chest as the figure began moving towards me, its movements jerky and unnatural. I tried to start my car, but it wouldn't turn over. The figure was getting closer, its face hidden in the shadows, but I could feel its gaze on me. In a panic, I tried the ignition again, praying for the engine to start. The figure was now just a few feet away from my car. I could see its hands, long and bony, reaching out towards me. Just as it was about to touch the car, the engine roared to life. I didn't hesitate, slamming my foot on the accelerator and speeding away from the gas station. I didn't stop until I reached the safety of my home. Shaken, I tried to convince myself that it was just some homeless person, perhaps under the influence. But deep down, I knew it was something else. Something about that figure was profoundly wrong. The next day, fueled by a mix of curiosity and fear, I returned to the gas station in daylight. The place was bustling with activity, a stark contrast to the night before. I approached the cashier to pay for last night's fuel and hesitantly asked about the old car and the figure. The cashier, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, went pale at my description. She told me a story that sent chills down my spine. Years ago, there was an accident at that very gas station. A man, tall and thin, had been trying to fix his old car when it caught fire. He couldn't escape in time and died in the flames. Ever since then, there had been sightings of a ghostly figure lurking around the station, especially on quiet nights. The locals had learned to avoid the station after dark. The cashier admitted she thought these were just stories to scare kids, but the fear in her eyes told me she believed them now. I left the gas station feeling a mixture of relief and terror. Relief that I had escaped unharmed, and terror because I had come face to face with something unexplainable. I knew one thing for sure. I would never visit that gas station again, especially not after dark. Since that night, I've heard stories from others who have experienced strange occurrences at the station. Lights flickering, phones dying, eerie shadows moving in the periphery. Some even claim to have seen the ghostly figure of the tall, thin man. My experience at the gas station has left me with many unanswered questions. Was it really the ghost of the man who died there? Or was it my imagination fueled by the eerie setting? Regardless, the memory of that night remains vivid in my mind, a haunting reminder that sometimes reality can be stranger and more frightening than any ghost story.